just gonna stay. How's my hair, Wahida? We're on camera.
Why do you sound... You're such a diva. Why are you so upset?
Thanks for the help.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to be with you. We've been talking about cross-cultural relationships, and today's topic is on cultural differences. And we laugh because, we got a lot of differences. And for us, we as couples, you see, like, you either live in one of the main... Can I help you?
This is very loud.
Yeah, it's my little jingle. Don't take it away. Anyway, take my jingles. Anyway, taking my jingles, that sounds okay. Anyway, so you can as couples, you can either live in someone's culture or the other culture, or you guys can find yourself living in a third culture. For us, we chose to live in his culture.
I am so proud and I'm so happy right now.
I'm sure you are.
It's great. So, as a matter of fact, you're not even supposed to be talking right now or leading this conversation. I should have opened the conversation, and only at my direction were you supposed to open your mouth and say anything, and I will determine if it's of value or not. So culturally speaking, as we talk, your head is supposed to be below mine, so I would suggest you slide down. And then secondly, you are not supposed to look at me directly in the eyes, because that is a sign of disrespect, and you have to keep your head down the whole time if you can, and take your position as a woman. And so that's one of the things in our culture.
Take your position as a woman. Oh, you are gonna offend people here. Woo, the comment section.
That's my culture, sorry. It's not meant to be disrespectful or anything, it's just how it is. And another thing that I can think of, when I went to the States, I was observing almost every man as the woman is, they're walking with their wives and opening the doors for them, and they consider that as being a gentleman. And I think it's good, it's great, everyone should do that. And but culturally speaking, in Swaziland, Eswatini now, when we go into a home, I am supposed to open the door for myself, not for the children, not for my wife, to inspect the home, to make sure that there are no animals such as snakes, even like scorpions or anything that will harm the family. And I'm supposed to battle with it whilst I'm in the house by myself, should there be a cobra or a mamba. And then once I'm done fighting with those things, and then invite my family to come in. So in Swaziland, it's actually manifest for that purpose. Even when eating, Swaziland, man, just Africa in general, there's a lot of voodoo stuff like witchcraft. So even when we're eating, the men are supposed to be saved the food first. You know why? In case the food is poison. So the guy can die first and live his
I
life.
wonder who came up with that rule.
And his children.
Let's tell these people that we are doing this because to protect them from poison.
You may sit up now.
Thank you. It was so comfortable.
You were looking very chill. But yeah, I think that's really fascinating because it talks of protection, but if you're ignorant of the culture, you might take it as if, the women are just being suppressed. There are instances where the women are suppressed, and that's not okay. But there are a lot of good things in the culture, a lot of bad things. Every culture, yes.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite things that I've learned since being here. Okay, I've learned a lot of things, and I've had some crazy experience, and I've done crazy things that I didn't even know were against culture. But one of the things that I love is when they slaughter a cow or something like that, they say that the woman's not allowed to eat the hands and the feet and the tongue or anything on the head. What? Tell them why that is.
Well, you know what? It's really funny because there are delicacies in the meat, and there are three things like the feet. The woman is not supposed to eat the feet of a cow or a chicken because the belief is that if they do eat the feet, then they might run away from the home. And then the other thing that they are forbidden from eating is the head of the cow or whatever it's been slaughtered, because we believe that if the woman eats the head, she might become more clever than the man. But most importantly, the woman must not eat the tongue of the cow, because the belief that is that if she eats the tongue, she might just become too talkative, and nobody wants that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
All right, so maybe I could just say, like, for me, coming into a culture like this where I was obviously raised very, very different. I came from a household where you are taught to be a strong black woman, and that even means playing two different roles, whether male, female, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? You are supposed to be a certain way. And so coming into this kind of culture and then marrying into this kind of culture, and this is now my home, it was very challenging, but also not as challenging as I thought, because it was also very humbling. And the word that I like is meek, you know. It's one of my favorite words. It's like meek, it being having power under control. You have the power to do things, but at the same time, taking a step back and controlling.
The only power that you have is that which I render unto you.
Oh dear. Okay, so you can see
that feels so good to even say.
We have so much fun with our culture differences. So much fun. And I must say, like, when it came down to relationships, one of the biggest things that we saw was it wasn't so much cultural. We were very aware of our cultural differences, and they do still come up, and sometimes they're in a subtle way that we're having a disagreement, and we don't even know we're having a disagreement because of our cultural backgrounds. We can't even put it together, and it later comes out, right?
Yeah.
That has definitely happened.
It has many times.
But we found most of our differences come not so much from culture, because it's almost like we were prepared for that, but from gender and personality types. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But one of the things I can think of, like, that's definitely a cultural difference. Apparently, there's an expectation, apparently, for the men to empty the trash. Now, there wasn't, no, because I was never prepared. No, it didn't even come up, you know, during counseling and stuff, you know. But Wahida will always give me the eye, like, why is the trash still here? And I'm like, yeah, why is the trash still here? But it was in a subtle way, but so I never quite understood until one day she actually revealed this to me, that actually, you know what, in my culture, the men, it's their duty, their responsibility to ensure that the bin is out. I was like, oh my, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay, can I just say, are you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, what I can say is, like, the thing about it is, especially in America, because we're the melting pot, each home is a little bit different. People do things differently. So that one, I don't know if I can say is the whole culture of America, but that was just under my roof particularly. That my mom had a rule that the guys take out the trash.
But the whole time I was in the States, I saw men taking out their trash. Never saw women.
Were doing it too.
I'm not saying they don't, but there was the majority, at least for me.
So there's all these expectations that we have, and we'll talk about expectations in another session. But yeah, so we see that there's these sudden differences that come up. Yeah.
I'm thinking about culture, like the water people. That's also a cultural thing.
I don't know if you should tell them about the water.
No, I think it's really cool, because there is a time in the year where women are not supposed to dress a certain way. That's definitely a cultural difference.
Yes.
Because you can dress however you want. Share just like for 30 seconds that experience that you had.
Okay, listen. So everyone kept telling me, watch out for a certain group of people, and but they always kind of laughed about it. And that's the thing about the culture here. Like, they're very, like, relaxed, and they laugh about a lot of things type of culture, and I love it, but it's very confusing sometimes. So they tell me, watch out for this, watch out for this. Well, there's a certain time in the season where women are supposed to be natural from head to toe. Like, no nails done, no makeup. You must not be wearing pants, trousers, whatever. Shouldn't be wearing that. It has to be like a skirt. And so people would, like, kind of whisper about it, laugh and giggle about it. And then, anyway, one day, during this certain season, I was dressed my normal American way, as in an appropriate way, but just honoring their culture, but not to that extreme. I had nail polish. I don't know. I think I may have had some hair down the back. I can't remember. But anyway, then sure enough, a cultural representative did come and approach me, and it was like this huge blow up because I wasn't honoring the culture. And here's the thing, like, I happen to look like I'm from here, not just because I'm black, but my facial features look like I'm Swazi. So it was this huge thing, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm really sorry. I'm from America. Please forgive me. So it was like learning those things. But anyway, we could go on and on about these different experiences. And I think the biggest thing that we can say is that, yes, there are going to, once again, just to reiterate what I was saying about, there are going to be cultural differences. Be aware of them, definitely. But also don't forget about them later down the road when you're like, why aren't we seeing eye to eye? Because it might be a cultural difference, but one of the biggest things that I've observed is that gender and personality are equally as important.
Absolutely. And in your culture differences, because I think culture really does matter, because it molds us and shapes us. We are what we are today because of our culture, and we have chosen that. But to have balance in your culture, what is the most important thing is to really love each other.
Yeah.
And to respect each other. That is the most important thing. For me, that would be a takeaway.
That's good. All right, we done. Bye. Deuces.